Have you ever been scrolling through your feed and wondered what's really going on behind the scenes? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the foundations of social media marketing to figure out the method behind all that magic.
But first, let me ask you something. As you're scrolling, what is it that actually makes you stop? What takes a simple post and turns it into a moment of pure genius? We've all seen them, so let's get into what's really happening.
To figure this out, let's go to a football pitch during the Copa America tournament. The game is super tense, and in this moment of just pure desperation, one player grabs his opponent, but not just anywhere. He grabs onto his impossible-to-miss bright pink Nike boot. Now, while millions of people were just watching the game, Nike's social media team in Chile saw something totally different, a perfect, unscripted story just waiting to be told.
Okay, we have to break this down because this single post is an absolute masterclass. This wasn't something planned for weeks in a boardroom, no way. This was a lightning-fast reaction that captured the pure essence of sports and, way more importantly, the essence of the Nike brand itself. So what's the secret sauce here? What made this so good? Well, it really boils down to 5 key things. First, it happened in real time. Nike reacted instantly to a live event that perfectly matched their brand's message of grit and determination. Then you've got this powerful, emotional picture that was designed to be mobile-friendly, to literally stop your thumb mid-scroll. And finally, it felt real. It was posted by Nike Chile, so it was speaking directly to the local audience, which made it feel less like some huge global ad and more like a shared "did you see that" moment.
See, that Nike post wasn't just some clever ad. It's a perfect example of what social media marketing actually is. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the official definition, because it's about so much more than just trying to sell you something.
The official definition talks about using these platforms to connect with an audience. And the key words here are all action words. You build a brand, you drive sales, and you foster a community. And yeah, sales are obviously important, but they're almost always the result of building a much deeper relationship first.
And this brings us to a huge strategic choice that every brand has to make. Do you go for the direct sale, the big flashy buy now button? Or do you play the long game for something called share of mind? This is all about carving out a little space in a consumer's head, building up those positive feelings, so that when they are ready to buy something, your brand is the very first one they think of. That Nike post, that was pure share of mind.
So, why is this whole share of mind thing so powerful right now? What is it about social media that makes it the undisputed king of modern marketing? Well, it really comes down to a few unique advantages that have completely changed the entire game.
The advantages are just massive. For starters, the audience is already there. We're talking over 5 billion of them. It's also a pretty democratic place, where a small, clever startup can get way more attention than a giant corporation. You get this incredible real-time feedback loop with your customers, and maybe most importantly, it lets a brand actually build a personality. You can be funny, or caring, or witty, instead of just being a faceless logo.
And this number right here, this is the reason why. 94%. That's how many internet users are on social media. And guess what? Almost all of them are getting to it on the little device they carry around in their pocket.
And that just perfectly illustrates why mobile is king. Think about how we use our phones. It's in these little micro moments, right? Waiting for coffee, on the bus, and all those little moments have trained us to have shorter attention spans. Your content has to be thumb-stopping. We do it while watching TV. That's the whole second screen thing. And at the end of the day, it's a deeply personal, intimate device which makes that connection feel so much more direct.
But it wasn't always like this. Not at all. The social media world we live in today was built on decades of super fast evolution. So let's take a quick trip back in time and see how we actually got here. Back in the early 2000s, with platforms like MySpace, we saw the first big shift from just consuming media to actually interacting with it. Then the 2010s came along, and with Instagram and Twitter, everything exploded into a mobile-first world, and that's when influencer culture was really born. And now, here in the 2020s, it's all about short-form video on places like TikTok and Reels, with this huge demand for authenticity over some polished, perfect image.
And what this whole history shows is a massive, fundamental shift in power. Before social media, communication was a one-way street. Brands just talked at you. Now, it's a two-way conversation. They used to control the entire story. Now, we, the users, help create the narrative. Trust used to be built so slowly, over years. Now, it can be built almost instantly through transparency and just being real. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground, from a single photo of a football boot all the way through 3 decades of internet history.
But if you're going to remember anything from all of this, it should be these 3 foundational pillars of success.
Pillar number 1, it's about people, not platforms. Stop chasing the newest trend and start understanding your audience's behavior. Remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? That went viral because it was about human connection, not because of a specific app's new feature. Number 2, content is your currency. In a world of infinite scrolling, your post has to earn that attention. And pillar number 3, visibility equals engagement. The algorithms reward interaction, so you have to create stuff that actually sparks a conversation, not just a passing glance.
So the next time you're scrolling, you'll see it's not random at all. There's a real strategy behind every single meme, every viral video, every perfectly timed post. And that leaves us with one last thought. Now that you can see the strategy behind the scroll, how are you going to look at your own feed differently tomorrow?